Hello, it's a new day. I have new clothes, a new mood, and I spent most of the day editing the videos I recorded yesterday, putting on the English subtitles so you can hear me clearly. And yes, I will try to be more careful with the things I say. In one of my videos, I said that God is like, a piece of. Like I was saying that God is the truth, Al Haq. Allah is Al Haq. It means the truth. And then I said, like, when you find something like a piece of something, you say, wow, this is it, this is actually the truth, then you found God, or a piece of it. I said that's totally wrong. I don't think actually that way. That's the way I said it in the moment. But people usually, some people, not all people, some people take speech from someone and then they interpret it literally or take certain meaning to it, forgetting the whole context, and they take just that part and say, oh, he says, this is a piece of God and you found God. It doesn't work that way. I don't believe that. So this video, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about God as one unique thing that is different from everything else. And I didn't want to make another video on religion because all I've talked about until now mostly is religion related. And I guess it's kind of inevitable at this point. And I want to do, because remember, I'm a therapist, and so I want to do more videos about being a therapist and what is my approach to therapy and what's my relation to psychology and what authors in psychology I've read. But so this video is going to be about religion again, and I want to talk specifically about the notion of God and specifically Allah. What is Allah? Who is He? What is He? What type of being is Allah? And Allah is the one true God. That's it. The creator of everything. He's the sustainer. He is the maker of things. And everything else is just a consequence of him. In philosophy, I don't know, this is actually not philosophy, this is just language. This is just language. There is a concept, there is a word, contingency. This is contingent. What does contingent mean? Something that is contingent is something that is neither necessary, neither impossible. Like, for example, right now, I have this, um, pen in my desk. So the existence of this pen is neither necessary nor impossible. That means this pen is contingent. It's contingent. And so, what is not contingent? So, what we think is not contingent, it's, for example, let's say we see a tree. Okay, let's say we see a plant somewhere. So then we say, well, water is not contingent to this plant. Why? Because this plant exists. Therefore, it is necessary that there is also water, because without water, there would be no plant, right? So in that case, water is not consistent because it is necessary. I mean, not contingent because it is necessary. But if you put it in the perspective of God existence, in God as the one true God, the one unique, unified, all powerful God, everything is contingent. Everything except God. Allah is the only necessary thing, the only necessary being. Everything else is just there because He wills. He does not need anything else. And so everything in this world is not a part of Him. This world works with necessities. It works with this, with causation, or at least it appears to be that way. But Allah needs no causation, and He doesn't need anything. And so we cannot think about Allah being divided. Divided in what? Well, I don't want to enter into that argument because this is a very, very discussed thing in theology, not only in Islam, but in many religions. And I don't know if someone has actually come with a satisfactory, easy to understand answer. And so I'm not going to try to pull that off, just by improvising speech while I'm talking to my cell phone, right? And so, well, he's one thing, one simple, one unified thing, one unified being that has control over everything. And in Islam, it is very important that he's just one. Well, actually, it is just one because that's what the religion states, and that is enough, right? But you're not believers in Islam. I mean, some of you are probably, but not all of you. And so, for someone that doesn't believe in Islam, for someone that doesn't believe in the Quran, for someone that thinks that the Quran is just a book wrote by someone a long time ago, then saying, oh, this is in the Quran, therefore you must believe it, is completely weak argument. It's a weak argumentation. It makes no sense. Why would I believe it just because someone wrote it in a book 1,000 years ago? And so it makes a lot of sense that these people need something more. And so let's try to find some kind of explanation to it. And the reason why Allah has to be one, why God has to be one, is because if He's not one, then He wouldn't be able to be what He is. He wouldn't be able to control everything. I mean, in terms of that, in Islam, the belief is that, of course, there's more things besides Allah. We exist, and we're not Allah. We're not part of Him. We're His creation. What I mean is that Allah is, He doesn't need nothing. He doesn't need anyone. He needs no thing. Actually, the worst mistake you can make as a Muslim is to associate partners or family members or children or parents or brothers or or uh, or rivals even to Allah, like saying anything compares to Him, anything can be compared to Him. If you do that, you're in big trouble. It's like the worst thing you can make, and it's called shirk. It's when you say, like, for example, let's say, I think that uh, I don't know, the devil. This is a very common dualistic opinion. Like, some people believe that it's like God against the devil, and they fight each other, and you have to choose sides, and maybe the devil wins, right? So when you say that, when you think that way, you're saying that Allah might lose. Like the devil is a dignified rival against him, similar to him. And they're struggling and he might lose. But no, like in Islam, the devil is nothing compared to Allah, just nothing. If the devil exists, it's just because Allah permits him to exist. He lets him be. But if he didn't want the devil to be, then the devil wouldn't be. Well, so a pretty simple manner to think about this is, and many Muslims do that. There's a lot of Muslim channels where they debate people, and a very common argument, I don't know if it's very common, but I've seen it a couple of times, is that they say, imagine you have a car with two steering wheels. That's how it will be, a world that was dominated by the shaitan, the devil, and God at the same time. It's like the world has two steering wheels. And when you see, well, the car moving, you see it moves smoothly, and it goes right when it has to go right, it goes left, it has to go left, and it never crashes. You say, it's very weird. There must be one steering wheel. Same happens with the universe. When you see the creation, when you see how everything fits with other stuff, how they fit together, it's like, hmm, there has to be someone managing all this stuff, right? There has to be like a common plan, an order. And how can that order be if it's managed by many people, by many beings? It's way more easy if it's just one being. It's way more simple. There is a Turkish, not Turkish, a Kurdish Muslim uh, sheikh. I'm gonna say super sage. There's an Arabic word for it, but I don't I remember I forgot the word. His name was, because he passed away, his name was Said Nursi. And this man, very brilliant man, he says something like, if you deny the not only the existence but the oneness of Allah, if you deny that the creator and the ruler of the world, the universe, is one, and that there's many things taking part on the realization of the world, like in the previous video where I was talking about Hitler, like Hitler maybe, you know I'm gonna follow my advisor's advice, and I'm not going to invade Russia, and everything is different now. So he says, if you believe that, then in order for all the things in the universe to that have happened until now to have happened the way they did, it is so unlikely. Like, if you have to believe blindly without proof, either in God exists or God doesn't exist, or God is one or God is many, then the less crazy, the less I'm thinking like way beyond the reality, the less us, the less like filled with assumptions you cannot prove explanation is Allah is just one and He exists. Well, this video is, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and well, I hope I keep seeing you in my videos.